With a really deep and young wide receiver core and wide receiver room, do you guys kind of feed off each other and learn from each other at practice and during your Friday scrimmages? And can you just talk about how well you guys work together?
Almost definitely like the one-on-ones on Friday. I pray for everybody's success all the time. I want everybody to be great. I want us to be able to learn off each other, learn off each other's reps, our faults, our greatness, everything in life. So like that way we can truly balance out and make each other better every single day, day in and day out.
All right, Henry Chisholm. Sorry, I skipped over you.
Oh, good. We heard on Friday, somebody mentioned that you kind of felt the confidence after you scored that first touchdown and that you looked like a different player after that point. Did you feel like there was a turning point at some point in last season?
Yeah, most definitely. Being under the wing of Katie Nixon, people like Maurice Bell, Vontae Chenault, confidence factor is everything in the wide receiver game. You see Chad Ochocinco and all these great wide receivers. If you don't got confidence, you can't take that next step. So as soon as I caught my first touchdown, I got my feel for the game and it truly balanced out. And I felt as though I can truly come in here and make an impact day in and day out in every single game.
Okay, Justin Guerrero.
Brenden, I wanted to ask you just about punt return duty. Obviously, you had that really, I think it was 81 yards against Utah in the regular season finale back at Folsom last December. Is that something you enjoy doing in the sense of like if you have an opportunity to return punts or kind of throw your hat in the ring to be one of the punt return guys that's something like you'd go out of your way to try to do?
I most definitely don't mind punt return. If my coach needs me to do it, I'm gonna definitely go out there and do it. I'm more of a kick return guy though. That ball, just looking at the ball in the air and it twists and turn. Oh my goodness, it's something different.
Brian Howell.
Brent, I want to ask how you're feeling. Coach Terrell, we saw you weren't out there on Friday, and I know you've missed the first few weeks of practice. Were you back today? And Darrell was talking about how you're behind. You're missing this time, and how much do you feel like you have to catch up? And are you back yet?
Truly, it's a mental game. I have to get out there. I have to learn with the QBs. I have to actually build my chemistry with JT Stroud and Brendan Lewis as Sam Noyer is out right now. So it's definitely a catch-up game here. But at the same time, I got my brothers around me. They're going to lift me up. They're going to help me. I got great coaches. I'm going to be in the right point. How do I say this? I'll be in the right I'm in the right system to actually elevate and truly grow in this.
And amongst your Tiger.
Hi, Brenden. You almost gave CU fans a heart attack there when you announced you were transferring video game systems in early January. Do you enjoy messing with people on social media? And what's your experience been like in Boulder so far?
I love Boulder, first of all. I never leave. This is the place for me. I like learning from people like Coach Shad, Coach Reggie Moore, Coach Meat, even on the other side of the ball, and then Coach Darrell, all wide receiver people that can help me truly elevate the game. And I had to say, yeah, I'm very much so a jokester, and the whole Twitter game and everything. Boulder's just everything to me. I'm happy just to be brought in like a family. I'm just thankful, honestly.
Okay. Who else? Back to Brian Howell.
So, Brent, I want to ask you, because you had a couple of big plays last year. As a true freshman, you got a lot of attention, nationally for some of those big plays. Does being in this room and being with Coach Darrell and Coach Chev, do they kind of keep you humble and try to bring you down a little bit from some of those big plays and say, all right, don't get too excited?
Most definitely, they put my humility in check always. But at the same time, I came in here, I don't have a lot of ego to my name, especially after being just the way I was raised all my life and then also being in shadows all my life. I have a lot to work for, the standards I want to grow to. I just want to build every single day, day in and day out. So I can't take nothing for granted. I just take all the coaching I can. I try to go be the best player I can every single day.
Okay, this came in from Lynn Harrington. You kind of just answered it, but he said, do you feel any added pressure living up to the hype and expectations, considering who your father is?
I feel no pressure because I know what I do on and off the field. I know the time I put into this game, and everything. Like I take notes from him. I take notes from other receivers, Brandon Marshall, all these big name receivers, all these big body receivers. So like just applying it to my game and truly going out there and making the plays, making the right blocks, and executing everything to down to the bare minimum. There's no pressure at all.
And do you have a couple of favorite receivers playing in the NFL right now?
Oh, DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio, Odell. There's so many receivers. There's so much. I just try to piece together like a small piece of everybody's game and just try to collect. There's just so much information that you could just take from each one of these dudes.
Back to Brian Howell.
Sorry, Brendan. I have one more, just kind of general team question. A couple of weeks ago, Coach Terrell was not happy with how you guys practice on Monday. He just told us that the last couple of weeks you guys have really responded and come out really strong. I'm curious if you guys, as a team, do you talk about that in the locker room and say, "All right, we better make this a good practice"?
I wasn't actually. I wasn't there at that practice because of COVID. I was out, and honestly, yes, there's the leadership problem in the locker room. I would have to say someone's gonna have to step up and say, "No, you're down," and a couple people out in COVID. So it's time for we gotta have the younger guys step up and say something. We have to make sure that we're going through practice and that we're absorbing every single second of it, because as soon as that fall camp comes around and them games come around, it's truly gonna show up.